least. I don't remember where the hell I was at, what the hell I was doing, or anything like that. I think that's the right one. That should be it. Okay. How could I have forgotten something so important? I was checking the clock before she'd finished her sentence. It was past 6 p.m. But maybe it's not too late. D-mail. Again, that's clever. If we change press D-mail, you'll be cleared. Oh, sorry. Exactly! I dragged Curtis to the development room as fast as I could. Now Flash would set up the phone wave being subject to change. My previous experiments have shown that we can use the phone wave from noon to 6 p.m. But those time constraints are just approximations, not concrete restrictions. On certain occasions, I've even been able to use it after 6 p.m. That said, we do not yet know what causes this variance. Regardless, if the timing doesn't apply and doesn't line up today, we'll be forced to stay like this until at least tomorrow afternoon. Okay. Everything is set up. Just have to send the email. Took out my phone to write a message and stopped it, as if I was struck by something. What do I write and when do I send it? I can send 3 emails of 6 full-width Japanese characters, or 12 1-byte English characters each. Proper timing and concise writing, we can deliver a message within the character limit. It's my phone. That's my actual phone, I'm sorry. I have to be careful. I told myself just as much the other day. That sounds wise. Like she said, we won't end up in this situation if we don't put the kibosh on its development. Never heard that word before. The message will read stop new gadget development at once. Oh, that should be enough. We don't try to make that new gadget, so we can change the situation. Sorry. We can keep Darling and Diddy from ever existing. Well, I'll probably wipe those numbers 9 through 11 from existence too. But I'll come up with some way to fund our lab. Nothing to worry about. Email is written. All that's left is a tap of my thumb. Lucy urges me on. With that, I press the button. Ellipses. When you think about it, we don't have to stop all the gadget development, do we? put so much time and effort into making new gadgets that throwing them away feels like a waste. If we erase them all, there's a chance we won't be able to escape bankruptcy. Bankruptcy. Damn it, that word. The T after P is weird before C.
でも、じゃあどうするの?
We only have to do something about number 12, right? Then why don't we just cancel number 12's development? If we would have stopped at that alone, we could keep the other gadgets. Keep the other, excuse me. Which would still let us make money. We just have to change the wording from new gadget to number 12.
じゃあそれでいいから早く送りましょう。
I readied my phone and adjusted the message. Stop number 12 development at once. That should be the end of number 12. Finally free ourselves from this hell. Number 12 will be wiped from existence before its development can even begin. Damn. Sorry, there's a glare on my TV, so it's hard to read. Bruce will never come up with a sickly sweet idea or odd adjustments. Everything should be squared away. All I have to do is press the button. Our problems will be solved. Oh, wrong thing. Nothing. That's right, there's nothing to be worried about. Number 12 will never be created. We won't have any problems. You know, number 12 isn't all that bad. In fact, with a few improvements, I kind of think that number 12 could become a decent gadget. Might even be a big hit. I can't let that chance slip through my fingers. We could just tell ourselves not to put the bands on, couldn't we?
わかった。もうそれでいい。何でもいいから早くしろ。時間がない。
I'm sorry, Curtis is my waifu, and I'd be fine. I'm just kidding. I'd be fine being stuck with her. Right. I like her a lot, though. With Kurisu's support, I changed the message yet again. Do not wear number 12 for any reason. That'll do. Alright, now I have to send a message. This way we don't have to stop gadget development. And number 12 will exist. Just have Kurisu make improvements and get rid of these bizarre functions. Make it more accessible, simpler. Then it'll be a fine product. In the end, everything will work out perfectly. But is there any other way? Is this truly the best choice? Shouldn't we think it over once more? Why am I asking you? Carefully. It's from Spaceballs. Oh no, it's from Blazing Saddles, excuse me. There have to be alternatives. Gog! I'd been punched in the back. What do you think you're doing? I'm not worrying about anything. I'm trying to make the best choice possible so we don't run into any pitfalls. I know. Don't rush me. Kurisu reached out and tried to grab my phone. What are you doing? Excuse me? Hold on, you're seriously going all the way back to my last email? But... She almost grabbed my phone again, so I promised to change the message in accordance with her request. Pardon me, sorry. Reconsider D-mail experiment. This time for sure I'm going to press the button. We don't have time to be indecisive. Oh, it's not auto anymore. Damn it. All I have to do is press the button. Then my D-mail experiment will never have happened. We're returning to our original world line. There's nothing to be indecisive about. I know! This time I'll send it. Okay. Brucey tries to grab my phone again. Don't worry, I'm sending it now. We're out of time. Finally press the button. And then, the world around me blurred and distorted. My reading Steiner activates. The world line shifts. Ellipses. Or not. This means we were probably too late. I want to make that my text tone. Oh, wrong button. Where's the button for the phone? Is it triangle? Nope. Kurisu and I looked down at our wrists in unison. We blinked several times to make sure. But no matter how many times we blink, number 12 remains affixed to our wrists. I checked the clock, 6:15 p.m. While our time constraints were vague and mercurial, I suppose it is late. And late is late. Damn it. Ah! Enraged Kurisu snatched my phone away. She types a message. Sends it. Nothing happens. She types another. Sends it. Still nothing happens. She looked almost pathetic trying to send a D-mail over and over and over again, and that ringtone is really loud in my ears. It was too tragic a sight to keep watching, so I put my hand on her shoulder. That's enough. I know how you feel, but things won't change. No matter how we try. No matter how we try. There we go. She turned and looked me straight in the eyes. Her face was controlled by contorted by sadness as she snarled out. Okay, at least my eyes aren't purple. Her voice was fraught with tears. I don't know if that makes any sense. Wait, calm down. I just want you to calm down. If you don't... Warg. Or Wog. Electric shock ran through both of us. See? I told you. You made this thing and forgot what it did? What are you, a goldfish? Wait, I'm telling you, don't get upset. I almost delivered a snarky rejoinder, but I knew it'd risk another shock. I swallowed my words and left the development room with the equally defeated Kurisu. By the way, I'm sorry if I'm not voice acting very well. I'm cold reads. I know nothing about this game apart from what you're seeing here. See, this is a brand new game that I don't know anything about. We return to the main room at Mayuri's Inquisition. Mayushi, look. They still have number 12 on the wrists. Didn't work. I'm Daru.
Ah, そっか。遅かったんだね。残念。
As if I needed more proof of the D-mail's failure, Daru and Mayuri's awareness of the situation made it abundantly clear. Though I hardly cared at this point. I was focused on finding another solution. I recalled number 12's basic functions. The monitoring of body temperature, blood pressure, pulse, and perspiration. Should they indicate one user's unfaithful to the other, the device will administer a minor but painful shock. Should the user try to remove it by force, the device will administer an electric shock. Should the user get emotional due to an argument or the like, the device will administer an electric shock. Should the users move more than 1 meter away from each other, the device will administer an electric shock. Should the users hold hands, the shock will cease. And the device will only come off once it determines if the user's feelings are as one. Well, I won't be able to send another D-mail until at least noon tomorrow. Meaning that for the next 18 hours, Kurusu and I are effectively joined at the hip. I really can't imagine what we'll be able to satisfy the device's removal conditions in the process. If only because it's me and Kurusu. It's hard to think that 18 hours stuck together will improve our relationship. How should I know? You tell me.
言っとくけど、私は一晩中あんたとこの状態で過ごすなんてごめんだからな。
Took the words right out of my mouth.
まあまあ、二人とも落ち着いて落ち着いて。
Mayuri put a gentle end to the argument. Just in time, too. The words had started flying, the electricity went out too.
何度も同じ過ちを繰り返すなんて学習能力がないんじゃないの？
Okay. Erg. Oh no, what? Maybe she thinks this is a chance to make friends with Chris-chan. If we could do that, we wouldn't be suffering. There we go, phone. Oh. If we do that, we wouldn't be suffering.
残念だけど、私も珍しく岡部に同意するわ。
Wow, this is rare. Shouldn't this come off now that we're so in sync?
そんな簡単に行くわけないでしょ、バカ。
Okay, that was rude, but thank you. It's like every word this woman speaks is specifically chosen to piss me off. I agree. If I didn't have this on, I would tell her once and for all who rules this lab.
どうしてかな。まゆしは不思議だな。
What are you talking about, Mayushi? What's strange?
だってまゆしはオカリンともクリスちゃんとも仲良しだよ。だったらオカリンとクリスちゃんが仲良くなってもいいはずでしょ。
An innocent idea from an innocent girl. If such a thing were possible, mankind would have joined hands in a peaceful brotherhood a long, long time ago.
兄弟か。まゆしとオカリンは兄弟みたいだけど兄弟じゃないから、やっぱり無理ってことかな。
結果的にはそういうことになるのかしら。
I don't understand her words, but the conclusion seems valid. I'm Daru. Anyway, back to number 12. Is there any other way to get this off?
あったらあんなに慌てるわけないでしょ。
First of all, shouldn't there be a safety lock or something if you're going to sell this?
だから最初から完成品じゃないと言ったろうが。
Okay. Then you Then did you really have to make it so indestructible in the first place?
できるだけ本格的にしろと言ったのはあんただ。
I don't recall.
都合の悪い時だけ知らんふりすんな。
Ow, rude. If I said I don't recall, I don't recall. Okay, cut it out. Keep this up and you're both going to get zapped
そもそも
again.
橋田が脅かしたからじゃない。
That's my Daru voice. This is all because you surprised us. Eek. Oh, that's her, never mind. Arg. I tried to warn you. Being Daru. I look at the clock. It's past 7:30 p.m. How has it only been an hour?
オカリンもクリスチャンも大丈夫？
Mayuri looks at our faces one after the other. In just over an hour, we've been shocked more times than I could count on my fingers. Ow. You'd think that would inspire me to be more careful, but I can't help but get angry when Kurisu's around. Yeah, you guys really should try to remember that you'll get zapped whenever you start arguing. I know that. You don't have to tell me. If that was true, you would stop. If I could, this wouldn't be hell.
私は岡部さえ減らず口を叩かなきゃ別に怒ったりしないんだけど。
You're the one who keeps trying to get the last word.
私のどこが減らず口を叩いてるってのよ。
You're doing it now. Just like that, we're in an argument as soon as we open our mouths. My body can't keep taking these shocks. It's only been an hour. Will you even survive until noon tomorrow?
ねえねえ、マユシーは思うんだけど、二人とも手をつなげばいいんじゃないかな。
え？
Oh, that's right. You wouldn't get zapped if you're holding hands. That's true. I just got over number 12's functions, too. What's wrong with me? I completely missed the most obvious solution.
岡部。
Kurusu gives me her left hand. Yeah. I nod slightly and offer my right. We hold each other's hands.
おお。
One moment. There we go. They were at each other's throats a moment ago, and now they're holding hands. Brings tears to my eyes, because I'm a weeb. And how did you forget about such an important function? You'd call yourself my assistant.
あんたこそさっき聞いたのに忘れてるとかバカなの？死ぬの？
Say that again.
何よ？
ああ、やっぱりこうなっちゃうんだね。
Sure was.
だいたいあの時あんたが早くメールを送ってさえいればこんなことにはなってなかったのよ。
Says the woman who switched the gadget on in the first place.
そもそも新作ガジェットを作ろうって言い出したのは誰だ？
Well, maybe you never did that lecture on time travel. Hey, Mayushi.
なに、ダルくん。
How much longer do you think they can keep arguing?
いく なビリビリさんが来ないからってちょっとやりすぎだよね。あれって
Remind you of something? A lover's quarrel.
ああ、確かにそうかも。
どれが血は喧嘩よ。
Yeah, how on earth could you think that? Hate to say how on earth? Oh no, that's my wrong voice for Daru, sorry. I was doing the other voice. Mayuri stared at Kurisu and are conjoined hands. Well, you're holding hands and arguing at the same time. Anyone would think you're like lovers. Shake my head. True, but we have no other choice. Mayuri abruptly raises her hand. Yes, Mayushi.
二人とももういい加減に喧嘩するのはやめた方がいいとマユシは思います。
Seconded. Been arguing about the same stuff over and over again, and it's starting to get boring. I'm Daru. I'm not doing this for their entertainment. But even I'd begun to think this war of words wouldn't lead anywhere. No, in reality I'd realized that long ago. I was merely waiting for a chance to say so. As I looked at Kurisu, I could see worry in her face. Perhaps she felt the same. That's true. In fact, I kind of agree with Mayuri and Daru.
私も異論はない。
So, why don't we stop blaming each other from now on?
そうね。
That would have been a great time for the two of us to shake hands if we weren't holding hands already. This probably wouldn't put an end to our arguing on a larger scale, but it seems like we have a temporary truce at least.
それで今日は二人ともどうするのかな。
え？どうするってどういうこと？
だって確か二人とも1メートル以上離れられないんだよね。クリスちゃんはお茶の水のホテルで暮らしてるんだっけ。
冗談じゃない。岡部と一緒にホテルに行くなんてごめんよ。
I had a perfect retort lined up, but knowing that it would spark another argument, I managed to hold my tongue at the very last second. Basically, if I was talking.
それじゃあ二人ともここに泊まるってこと？
Unfortunately, it seems we have no choice.
クリスちゃんも？
There we go, finally.
仕方ないけど。
We're all back together.
それしか方法がないならそうするしかないわね。
そっか。
Ow. After we answered, Mayuri seems lost in thought.
あのね、二人には悪いんだけど、マユシーは帰らなきゃならないんだ。
Well, I thought as much.
ダル君は？
I'll be heading home soon.
だよね。
Daru.
っていうことは、もう少しでオカリンとクリスちゃん二人っきりになっちゃうけど、大丈夫かな？
Ellipses. Oh, that's her. Ellipses. That's me. That's right. I had forgotten something very important. As it gets dark, Kurisu and I will be left alone. Which means...
そ
ゆしーも一緒にいてあげたいのは山々なんだけどね。今日はどうしても帰らなきゃならないんだ。
そこをなんとか。
ごめんねクリスちゃん。
そんな。
あ、でももしかしたらダルくんなら頼めば残ってくれるかも。
橋田が？
Kurusu looked at me and Daru one after another.
岡部と橋田と私
Excuse me.
3人。
Oh, I'll stay here if you stay. If you say, don't let me spend the night alone.
誰が言うか。
Or it's not like Ocarina and I will double team you or anything.
よれなこの変態っていうか、そんなこと言われてお願いって言うわけないだろうが。
She makes a good point. So harsh. It was one of your American jokes.
アメリカンジョークだ。そもそも橋田が言うと冗談に聞こえないのよ。
Maybe he's right about you being harsh, assistant. Well, anyway, I've got things to do, so I really should get home. I'm Daru. In the end, Kurusu and I will be left alone after all. Oh well.
そっか。でも多分大丈夫だよクリスちゃん。こう見えてもオカリンは紳士だから変なことはしないと思うな。ね、そうだよねオカリン。
You wouldn't know it by looking at me, but I'll have you know that if you look up gentleman in some dictionaries, you'll see the definition of Okabe Rintaro.
ほらね。
Under the subsection gentleman perv, I'm Daru.
なおさら信用で
That's my
きん
Daru
わ。
voice. It's my assistant. You've spent the night here numerous times in the past. There's no reason to worry now.
あのな、どう考えてもいつもとは状況が違うでしょうが。
I'm just trying to let you know not to worry, damn it. Trying to tell you not to worry, damn it. Damn it.
とにかく
I'll be Troy McClure for Daru. That's my
Boy,
voice
that's
for
gotta
Daru now. I'm Troy McClure. Well, if you try anything weird, I'll never forgive
な
you.
んで私がしなきゃなんないのよ。
What an annoying conversation. Think about it. She's just my assistant. We're only going to spend one night together. What does she think I'm gonna do? What? Yeah, it's me. What's that? Did you say my assistant may be working for the organization? There's nothing to worry about, even if it were true. A girl who probably has a weird Mongolian spot on her butt would never shake my focus.
おい、何気に失礼なこと言ってないか。
Quiet down, spot butt.
猛虎犯なんてないわよ。
もうまたそうやって喧嘩して。
Oh, here he actually looks angry. It's kind of cute. I hear he spoke up in a rare fit of anger.
いいですか。マユシーはそろそろ帰っちゃうけど二人とも仲良くするんですよ。喧嘩なんかしちゃダメだからね。
Roger.
すみません。
はい、二人ともいいお返事です。それでダル君はどうする？
Oh, I'm going home too, but before I do, Ocarine. What is it? Can I use those parts in the lab for the new gadget I'm currently working on? Yeah, of course. The lab is in your hands. Do whatever you like. Okie-dokie.
何？あんたまだこれ以上ガジェット増やすつもりなの？
Naturally, just because he created a new product for us doesn't mean that we're going to stop working. Don't presume that you're the only one holding up this lab.
誰もそんなこと思っとりゃせんわ。
はいはい。それじゃあマユシーたちは帰ります。二人とも仲良くね。
Ocarine, don't forget you promised to stay pure until our wedding night. never agreed to that. It's after 9 p.m. It's a dog barking outside. Mayuri and Dario left about 5 minutes ago. In that time, the silence has only been broken by the ticking of the clock. Neither one of us has said a word. I can feel the tension in the air. Sure, there's been situations that put Kurusu and I alone in this room before. At least as far as I can remember. But I didn't think anything of them at the time. Neither did she, most likely. At a glance, this is the same sort of thing. But what's with this tension in the air? It's so thick I can hardly breathe. Don't tell me this is going to last until tomorrow afternoon. I don't think I'd be able to take it. The worst part about all this is the silence. So maybe if I break the silence, things will get back to normal. Sorry about that, my dog needed me. Get back to normal. One word. That's all it would take to fix things. Okay. What awful timing. Our words stumbled over each other.
Nani?
No, it's nothing. What were you going to say?
私も特にないんだけど。
Silence again. Damn it, why would she start talking when she's got nothing to say? No, she must have been thinking the same thing I was. Our awkward timing ruined any chance at a conversation. It's gotta be something we can talk about. What did we talk about up till now anyway? Now that I think about it, it's only been about 10 days since we first met. We talk about time travel, email, experiments, and gadgets. In fact, so much of our conversation has been centered around gadgets that we haven't spent any time in casual conversation with one another. Of course, discomfort will arise when we're forced into a situation like this. This awkwardness will only continue until something is done. Anything. I just have to say something. I'm getting thirsty.
それにしても今日も暑いわね。
Good thing we're stocked up on Dr. P.
なんでも今年は記録的な猛暑になるって言ってたっけ。通りで暑いはずだ。
Oh no, I think I drank the last of it yesterday.
そういえば友達が言ってたけど、アメリカもかなり暑いらしいのよね。
I always thought that anime girl with the one eye open wink thing was cute. The way she looks. I really should have bought some more today.
それにしても温暖化の原因が二酸化炭素だっていう間違った情報はいつになったら撤回されるのかしらね。
I can't believe this.
本 と参っちゃうわよね。
This is all wrong! With all caps. It almost looks like we're having a conversation, but we're just rambling to ourselves. How long can we monologue like this? There's no way we can keep it up until tomorrow. None. And why is it so hard to come up with something to talk about all of a sudden? There's only one thing I can do in a situation like this. What's wrong? You've been acting strange for quite a while. You're hardly your usual self, Christina.
何よ急に。
Offering you a bit of information. I, Hoin Kyoma, am a mad scientist and only care for research and experimentation. My ultimate goal is to destroy the system that governs this world and plunge it into chaos.
いきなり何なんだ。
Because my love of science comes before all else. I have little need for women and things that accompany them.
え？岡部ってもしかしてそっちの人？
Oh, oh, that's adorable. Look at her blush. Look at her cute blush. I'm sorry. I really like this. What do you mean by that?
だからほらベーコンレタスっていうかブラックリストっていうかブリティッシュライブラリーっていうか。
Huh? What in the world are you getting at?
だからうほっとかあーとか言わせんな恥ずかしい。
Bacon, lettuce, boys love. You're the one who should be embarrassed. You must be the kind of girl who starts coupling every two guys she sees. Why would Daru and I ever...
やめろバカ、想像しちゃっただろうが。
I'm sorry, this is really fun. You're the idiot, stop imagining horrible things. Oh god, now I'm almost imagining it.
言っとくけど、私にその趣味はないかな。
She's blushing and she looks really cute. Sorry.
だけど、あん
Besides,
たってば
oh,
ま
that's
ゆりみ
her.
たいな子がそばにいるってのに、ただの幼馴染だって言うし、それにさっきだって。
What did I just do to make you think this of me?
そうじゃなくてさ、あんたと橋田が約束したっていう。
Eh. Promise?
ほら、言ってたじゃない。一緒に魔法使いになろうって。
Oh, Jesus. What?
最近はそういうのに嫌悪感を持ってる男が増えてるって聞いたけど、あれ本当なのかって思って。
Stop talking nonsense. Daru was just joking around, and I never promised anything of the sort.
そうだか。
I'm serious. I'm a sexual carnivore. If I had the chance, I'd eat you whole. Sorry.
チャンスさえあれば。
The way you said it.
骨のついまで。
Kurisu wordlessly slid away from me. How could this happen while I was trying to soothe her anxieties? He thinks the girl is a little too nervous.
さっきと言ってること全然違う。
Wait, I was just responding to what you were saying. I don't plan on doing anything.
肉食を自慢する男の人って。
I'm sorry. Just calm down. If you move any further away from me... Arg! Og! I was interrupted by a jolt of electricity. I tried to warn you.
そういうことはもっと早く言えと言ってるじゃない？
Perhaps because she realized anger would lead to another shock, Kurisu calmed herself halfway through her sentence. The last shock must have her feeling a little more cautious. Anyway, if you're worried, I'll say it again. I swear I won't do anything. Just give me those ellipses. I mean it. You have nothing to worry about.
信用してもいいんだな。
I swear to Einstein. I raise my right hand as I take the oath.
わかった。そこまで言うなら信じてやる。
Good. Now that that's out of the way, we've got to find a better way to spend our time. The longer the silence and inaction continues, the slower time seems to pass. The way we experience time is not absolute, but relative. According to the general theory of relativity, the way our bodies experience time is dependent upon gravity. Naturally, changing gravity is beyond us at the moment, which is why it's so critical for us to find some activity that makes it feel as though some time is passing more quickly. Distract ourselves until tomorrow. Let's see. Why don't we pass the time by playing a game?
ゲーム？そんなものここにあったっけ？
I'm not sure, but let's look for something we can play on the PC in the development room. With that, I persuaded Kurisu to look for a game with me. And... what is this? These are all porn games! I'm sorry. We discovered an assortment of games with very adult cover art. There was no end to them. If you can afford all these games, you should be able to afford to donate to the lab. Kurisu gave me a cold stare. It's not what you think. These aren't mine. They're all Daru's, I swear. Kurisu's side flies 30 centimeters away from me. There's no way I could play any of these with her. You know what? Now that I think of it, it would be a little odd for us to play a game on one monitor. We have to have something else. Oh, I've got it. I'm pretty sure we have to have some sort of board game. You know what I'm talking about? Like Monopolist or Alive or something.
そうね。確かにあの手のゲームなら何回かやっているうちにあっという間に時間が過ぎそうね。
Right? I know I bought something like that to play with Mayuri and Daru. Let's take a look. We searched the laboratory for a board game this time. And we found... this is Twister. You have to know what Twister is. It's a game where you put your hands and feet in randomly colored spaces and basically get intertwined with other players. So what is it doing here? As far as I can remember, we've never played anything like this in the lab. Is this possibly another result of the D-mail I sent? But that led to another problem.
岡部、あんたわざとやってるでしょ。
She looks so angry. It's really cute. Her skepticism is valid. No, I swear, I never knew we had this here. She falls silent. And goes for a double slide away combo. By this point, we'd realized that the kill time with a game idea was going nowhere. Ow. So instead we went to a convenience store to get some snacks and ended up standing around there reading manga and magazines until about midnight.
それにしても1メートル以上離れちゃダメっていうのは思ってたよりもずっと大変ね。
She's not kidding. Staying close was especially hard outside, where simply walking out of step with each other could lead to a sudden shock. Convenience store was nearly as tough. It's easy to separate if one person sees something that catches their interest and the other doesn't notice and takes a couple steps forward. We suffered more than a few shocks that way, which made the staff very suspicious of us. This thing actively gets in the way of living a normal life.
商品化するとしたら改良する必要があるわね。
You're still considering it, Christina?
当たり前でしょ。不幸な事故とはいえ、こうしてモニターする機会ができたんだから、どうせなら活用しなきゃ。じゃないと、何のために嫌な思いまでしてこんな状況に甘んじてるんだかわかんないでしょうが。
You really love your experiments, huh? You're kind of an experiment freak, really.
あら、科学者としては普通のことよ。それとも自称マッドサイエンティストの法王院京馬さんはそんなことすら考えられないほど混乱してたのかしら。
Don't be absurd. Of course I thought the same thing.
どうだか
She's just like Mayuri. She may initially panic once an unexpected event occurs, but once she has time to pull herself together, she's perfectly composed. I feel like women have nerves of steel when the chips are down.
それにしてもほんとこの部屋暑いわよね。海外ならまだしも今時日本でエアコンないとか健康的文化的な最低限度の生活に支障をきたすんじゃない？
We're making these gadgets so we can afford it. Drink this, it'll help. I took a Dr. P out of the convenience store bag and offered it to Kurisu. But she turned it down with a shake of her head.
いらない。
What? I thought you liked Dr. P.
そうね。好きだけど今はやめとくわ。
She said as beads of sweat ran down her forehead. She's an odd one. It's hot enough that you're liable to get a heat stroke, even inside at night. Don't blame me if you get sick. Well, if she doesn't want it, I'll drink it. I twisted off the cap and downed about half of it in a single guzzle. It's perfectly chilled, perhaps because it had been in the store's cooler for a while. It doesn't sell very well, and it tasted delicious. The tension in the air after our first shock and the weird feeling that lasted until just a few minutes ago had both completely evaporated. At this rate, we should have no problem making it to tomorrow afternoon. Very little actual choices going on in this game. Can hardly believe it. I'd hoped the rest of our time would fly by without incident, but such was not the case. It was just after 2 a.m. I never could have imagined it would come over me so suddenly. What can I do? Kurisu is right next to me, reading an article written in English. I look at her. I try to quell the urge, but it's growing and growing inside me, overpowering me. Can't take it anymore.
おい、さっきから何隣でもじもじしてるんだ？気が散るでしょうが。
Ellipses. Without a word, I took her hand.
何？何のつもり？
Christina, I can't...
あんた、もしかして...
I'd need to say a word for her to understand my desire. She's a sharp woman. I nodded slowly and firmly. Now I get why you didn't want any soda.
やっぱりか！トイレか！催しちゃったのか！
My bladder feels like it's about to explode.
あんなにグビグビ飲むからだ！
If you knew this was going to happen, you should have told me. This is bad. Even tensing my abdomen to yell at him makes me feel like everything's going to leak out of me. Look, we're going to the bathroom. Come on.
だが断る。
She responded without batting an eye. You really are an at-channeler.
何のことよ。私はただ断るって言っただけよ。だが断るだなんて言ってない。
Huh. You just outed yourself. I didn't know that, but How do you know that I refuse is an at-channel jargon if you're not an at-channeler yourself? I love this game. The genius girl Makise Kurisu is an at-channeler. How much do you think the media would pay for a scoop like this?
どうでもいいけど、あんたトイレに行きたいんじゃなかったの？
Right. Don't just stand there. I need a toilet. To the bathroom.
だから断ると言ったろうが。
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do it in here?
うわあ、恥ずかしい。19にもなっておもらししちゃう男の人って。
Keep talking while you still can. Once my body releases its tension in a watery explosion, you're not going to get off that easy. Do you understand? Or is that what you want? Don't tell me that's your fetish. That's incredibly perverted.
冗談も大概にしろ。誰もそんな趣味持っとらんわ。
With every word, I got closer and closer to my limit. I twist my body to the right and left to make one final agonized appeal. Then why would you refuse? What do you gain from this? Please come with me, please. Couldn't listen to her any longer. I dragged her to the bathroom and left her on the other side of the closed door. I made it. Fortunately, even with the door between us, we're still within 1 meter radius of each other. If we weren't, an electric shock would have torn through my body, releasing what was inside and spelling the end of the world. This game is great. I really enjoy it. You shouldn't have to tell me twice. Keep your ears shut. That was a close call. We avoided the end of the world. They say even the longest night has to end. And the rays of dawn spilling into the lab will lend credence to that. There we go. Sorry, I missed the length part. Sunlight bestows blessings upon the world and hope to its people. I wonder if I would appreciate the sun as much had I not wanted so desperately for it to rise. Finally, 6 a.m. came. Hey, I think we should try sending a D-mail.
何言ってんのよ。忘れたの？ D メールが送れるのは昼を過ぎてからでしょ。
Of course not, but it might be worth a try anyway. If our only other option is to just wait until noon, I say we give it a shot.
まあ、そうね。もしもそれで遅れたら儲けものかもしれないわよね。
We agreed to write and send a D-mail. Excuse me. So you're okay with sending the same D-mail we tried last night? About not doing the D-mail experiment in the first place?
ええ、問題ないわ。
Right. I opened the mail menu and typed D-mail experiment is trouble. I adjusted the wording slightly because spending one night with Kurisu made it clear that number 12 incident had even more troubling impact than initially thought. I wanted to get out of this predicament as soon as possible. That's how exhausted the last 12 hours were to Kurisu and I. So let's do this. Phone wave, name subject to change, activate. The phone wave powers on. If it works, the machine will start emitting electricity. Come on.
お願い。
We should pray for success. We shout as we pray for success, excuse me. However, nothing happened. There's no feeling of dizziness, no strange sensation of the world turning around. The only thing we heard was the familiar ding that tells you your food is microwaved. I checked my right wrist to be sure. Lo and behold, number 12 was still firmly affixed. So it didn't work, huh?
分かっていたこととはいえ、やっぱり落胆は大きいわね。
But we can't just sit around here and wait for the next 6 hours to pass, can we?
そうね。また後で挑戦してみましょう。
Yeah. We have nothing to lose. And if we succeed, we're golden. We tried again 2 hours later. Just after 8 a.m. Right around the time the nation of Japan starts getting ready for the day. Maybe the phone wave is ready too. Admittedly, the grounds for that assumption were fairly weak, but that's the sort of wishful thinking that propelled us into making another attempt at sending a D-mail. Jesus, that's all one sentence. But, as expected, the results were unfavorable.
次は1時間後の9時にやりましょう。
Sure. At this point, Kurisu and I had learned from our mistakes. We'd been shocked so many times that we didn't even get close to an argument during our wait. After this, we tried sending our D-mail every hour on the hour. 9, 10, and 11 o'clock. You'd think we might just wait until noon, but we were being stubborn since we'd already made so many attempts. The two of us tried and tried to send a D-mail, but every attempt ended in failure. Let's do this. Let's do this. 5, 4, 3...
1.
Phone wave, name subject to change. Activate! I hit the send button on my phone for the 6th time today. The plate on the phone wave started to spin. And a few seconds later, the phone wave stopped unceremoniously. Our noon D-mail attempt failed.
そんな。
Kurisu's shoulders slumped as she emitted a sound that were equal parts fatigue and disappointment. Well, it is what it is. We know we can't send D-mail in the afternoon, but that doesn't necessarily mean it works at noon on the dot.
そうか。あ、でも次はきっと大丈夫よね。だって今までの実験だと少なくとも13時には確実に送れるようになってるんだし。
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't know why our D-mail rules are so inaccurate, but I also don't really care right now. I just want to be able to change things. And that should be our last disappointment. No more failed D-mail transmissions, no more sitting lifelessly on the couch as the seconds tick endlessly by.
あと1時間。少なくともあと1時間で確実に解放されるのね。
That's right. 1 hour left.
ねえ。その間この12号機から解放されたら何をしたいか言い合わない？
Brilliant idea. You really are a genius.
もうその言い方はやめてよ。照れるじゃない。
Aw, she is adorable. Right, sorry about that. Force of habit. I laugh. What a dumb conversation. So uninspired. Like it came out of some foreign TV series. Looking back on it now makes my skin crawl, but at the time we were completely invested in what we were talking about. The freedom we had longed for was just ahead of us. We were completely elated. Now that I think about it, I was the only one whose freedom lay ahead because of my special ability, reading Steiner. Once the D-mail was sent, Kurisu wouldn't be free for number 12. There would be no liberation for her. But that thought couldn't have been further from our minds.
解放されたらどうしようかしら。やっぱり熱いシャワーを浴びてクーラーの効いたホテルの部屋で思いっきり眠りたいわ。岡部は？
Pretty much the same thing. I'm going to celebrate my freedom by sleeping in as late as I want.
楽しみね。
Yeah, it really is. We spent the next hour in high spirits. And at last, the hour hand of the clock approached 1 p.m.
あれ？ねえねえ、ダルくん、鍵開いてるよ。
What? Really? Think they're still here.
そして2人とも疲れて寝ちゃったとか？
We're going to find them in a compromising position.
それはないよ。だってオカリンだもん。
QFT. Coded for truth. Okay.
トゥットゥルー。オカリン、クリスチャン、おはよう。あれ？
What is it, Mayushi?
オカリンとクリスちゃんが。
What happened to you guys? You look like boxers that should have thrown in the towel 3 rounds ago.
おーい、オカリン、クリスちゃん。
どうして？
What? They still got number 12 on their wrists. That would mean... Why? Why won't the D-mail work? Oh, sorry, that was my yell. Work. I looked over everything, but nothing seems broken or out of place. Then why doesn't it work? It's past 3 in the afternoon. One of these D-mails should have taken by now. Maybe there's a limit on how many D-mails you can send. I'm Troy McClure. A limit? It's the first time I've heard of it. Well, yeah, I just came up with the idea. Besides, when you talk about the laws of physics, this never should have been possible in the first place. What makes it work? How should I know? It was just about 1 p.m. when we excitedly sent the D-mail that we thought would liberate us from number 12. But tragically, the D-mail wasn't sent back in time. It didn't change the past. We have no idea why. No matter how many times we tried, the only response we received from the phone wave was the ordinary ding. It didn't shoot electricity, let alone change the past. The greater one's expectation, the more brutal the betrayal. By the end, the two of us were running on empty. We were so spent that we didn't even notice that Dara and Mayuri had come in for quite some time.
私、もう一回やってみる。
Go for it. Perhaps this time we'll succeed. How many times have I thought that in this past hour? My thoughts were interrupted by the ding of the phone wave. With no idea why it wasn't working, the two of us sunk into the sofa.
大丈夫、クリスちゃん。
ええ、大丈夫よって言いたいところだけど、さすがにちょっと無理かも。
Ow. We can't do a thing about this. Daru and Kurisu can't figure out why it isn't working, so we're completely beaten. Maybe we should give up on using the D-mail to change the past.
それじゃあ、オカリンとクリスちゃんはこのままになっちゃうの？
Well, for a while at least.
しばらくってどれくらい？
I'm really not sure. Maybe it'll come off once Okuri and Makiseshi start getting along better. Or maybe we just have to wait until the battery dies. If we can't send D-mail, we can't change the past. It's a fairly ordinary situation to be in if you think of it. After all, we never knew it was possible to send an email to the past until a few days ago. But it's different now. Changing the past. Now that I've tasted the forbidden fruit, I assumed that any mistake could be undone with some time manipulation. I thought that the ability to send D-mail was a given. I had subconsciously taken it for granted. I'm gonna check the phone because it keeps doing this stupid... Look at all that. The idea now lies shattered upon the ground. The absolute fatigue that comes with being awake for an entire day and the utter despair that comes with being proven completely wrong combined within me. Agony! Sorry, Sorry. The cruel cocktail left Kurisu and me barely holding on to what remained of our sanity. At that moment, the front door suddenly flew open and someone came in. Ah, it's her. Suzuha. Suzuha walked in with a voice brimming with energy.
Ah, Suzu-san! Tuturu! シーナ 様より。トゥットゥルー。
She looks around the room, giving her head a slight tilt as she captures me and Kurisu in her sights.
どうしたの？なんかみんな深刻な顔しちゃってるけど。誰くんが驚かしちゃったから、オカリンとクリスちゃんが離れられなくなって大変なのです。なんかよくわかんないけど、困った状況なんだろうなってのはよくわかった。
Suzuha looked around the room again and scratched her head.
そっか、じゃあ無理だね。
Good day for what? A good day for what?
ほら、店長が苗連れて旅行に行っちゃったから、バイトそれで遊び相手にでもなってもらおうかと思ったんだけど。
Yeah, sorry. Might not be the best time.
そんな感じだよね。そっかそっか。だったらいいんだ。
Sorry, my daughter voice sounds like my brawn voice.
こっちこそ取り込み中にごめん。そんじゃ、失礼しました。
After Suzuha left, the room once again fell silent. I'm gonna go finish that thing off. I'm just about done anyway. That thing is probably the new gadget I asked him to make. But it doesn't matter anymore. I'd rather he worked out some way to solve my problem, but he's done his due diligence already, so I don't have a choice. Kurisu said this quietly, as if emerging from a daze.
ホテルに帰りたい。シャワー浴びたい。ゆっくり寝たい。
クリスちゃん。
Don't be so selfish. You know that we need to do something about this first.
どうにかってどうやって？
You made it, so you should know.
だったら無理ね。私は完璧なものを作ったって自負があるもの。
And just like that, we're back to square one. No, more like square negative one, since using D-mail to fix this is off the table. The only improvement over yesterday is that we're too exhausted to argue with each other. I see, and there's nothing we can do. I'm gonna have to wait another week or two for the battery to die. Unless our feelings can intertwine. It's me and Kurisu, so the chances are slim.
そうだ。いいこと思いついたわ。
It's like they didn't expect us to play through Steins Gate or watch Steins Gate because Kurisu and Okabe end up together. I'm sorry, but fuck. Sorry, I had to let that out for a second. Everyone immediately looked at Kurisu.
Nani?
Knew you'd come up with something, Makiseshi. Let me know if there's something I can do. So, tell us about it. What's this idea of yours?
それはね。
Six hopeful eyes staring at her, she gave a wry laugh and said,
切っちゃうっていうのはどう？
Oh.
切るってダーリンのおバカちゃんを？
ダメよ、そんなことしたらより強力な電流が流れちゃうでしょ。
Then what are you cutting?
そんなの決まってるでしょ。これよ、これ。
With a simple smile on her face, Kurisu slowly raised her left arm. In her hand, she held my right arm.
ね、これをこの辺りでチョキって切っちゃえば外れるのを待たなくてもいいでしょ。
Is she that desperate? What the hell is she talking about?
どういうことかな。誰くんわかる？
What? As Makiseshi gone full Yandere? Idiot, now's not the time for jokes. Christine, have you gone insane? Has the exhaustion finally gotten to you?
私は正気よ。だって今の状況を考えるとそうするのが
She
一番
looks
合
like
理
a
的じゃない？
Shows with a cold smile and a small chuckle. Don't be ridiculous. Attempting to remove my hand would only cause it to become more powerful than you could imagine.
だからそれごと切り落としちゃえばこれから先二度とその中二病が暴走することもなくなるでしょ。
Damn it, what's with this genius girl? Is she really a mad scientist?
でもこういう時って物は何を使えばいいのかしら。肉切り包丁
Using that so dramatic.
それとも斧とかそういうの？
クリスちゃん、どうしちゃったの？
Graphic content warning. Didn't I say ixnay on the jokes? Daru, stop that woman.
あらダメよ。橋田は私のこと手伝ってくれるって言ったもの。
Yeah, well, that's not,
じゃあさっき言ったことは嘘だったの？
Daru seemed to crumble under Kurisu's stinging gaze. You could tell he was sweating from every pore. Despite the lack of air conditioning, it feels as though the temperature in this room suddenly dropped below freezing. How did we get here? The event of the last 24 hours really driven her insane?
まあいいわ。とりあえずさっさと始めちゃいましょう。
On what?
だから言ったでしょ。切るの。
She wore a look of ecstatic glee, a complete reversal from a few minutes ago. That smile sent chills down my spine. Wait, Christina, just calm down, alright? Let's talk about this. You've been through hell today. You're exhausted. Try to calm down.
冗談。
Huh?
冗談よ。そんなことするわけないでしょ。何真剣になってるんだか。
She actually was kind of scary, though. I was afraid for a moment. That was a joke?
だから冗談は冗談だってば。いくらなんでもそんなことできるわけないでしょ。
Sorry, this game is great. I love these characters.
クリスちゃんはおかしくなってない？
ごめんね、マヨリ。驚かしちゃった。
Sorry, it's making me laugh. This game is fantastic. She smiles. You bastard! How can you joke around at a time like this? I almost believed you.
こんな時だからこそこんな冗談でも言ってないと心が折れちゃいそうだったのよ。 それとも何？自称狂気のマッドサイエンティストさんは今ので怖くなって震え上がっちゃったとか
think your little charade truly was a joke. That level of madness is mere child's play to me.
そんなこと言って顔面蒼白になってたのは誰かしら？
Daru, she's talking about you.
お前のことを言っとるんだ。
Wouldn't worry about it if I were you, Mayushi. I'm still Daru. They're holding hands. We picked up a horrible habit. When we started getting into an argument, we hold hands. It had been trained into us since last night. Just like Pavlov's dog if it were trained to avoid electric shocks. Desperation does strange things to people. I also had the option to trick myself into believing the pain from the electrical shock was pleasurable, but I fear that might have issues down the line, so took the lesser of two evils.
いいわ。
She stood up as if she'd made a decision.
いつまでもここでこうしていたってどうしようもないってことは痛いほど分かったわ。とにかく今私たちに必要なのは睡眠と休息。つながれてようとなんだろうと生きていくためにはこの2つは必要不可欠なの。
You're quite right. But how are we supposed to do that? We're going to sleep together right here? First, they wouldn't really mind, but she shot the idea down previously.
この際、それでも仕方ないんだけど、どうせ同じ休むなら少しでも休める環境で休む方が賢明よね。というわけで、私帰るわ。
Home?
うん、そうよ。
Wait, where's that?
決まってるでしょ。ホテルの部屋よ。
Hotel? That means... What is Okri gonna do? Wait, does that mean you're really gonna cut off his arm?
まさか。さっきのは冗談だって言ったでしょ。
What am I supposed to do?
もちろん岡部も一緒に行くのよ。この際仕方ないでしょ。
Going to her hotel room, to her hotel room with her? The room seemed to freeze over once more. For a while, a silence fell upon the lab. Daru was the one to speak first. You go to a hotel room with Ocarine? Together?
それほど広い部屋でもないから、さすがに3人も4人も入れないし、そういうことになるわね。
What does this mean? I thought she didn't want to go back to her hotel room with me. Isn't that why we spent the night here? So why now? What is she thinking? What are her true intentions? Why am I asking you? Sorry. Christina, you intend to take me to your hotel room? Is that what you're saying?
連れ込むとか言うな、いかがわしい。
Let me put it another way. What do you plan to do with me once you've taken me to your secret base? Ha! Now I've got it! You're going to take my brain as a keepsake because you desire my genius-level intelligence. Or maybe you're going to lobotomize me and collect as much data as you can.
お望みならば本当にそうしてやろうか。
Oh, lobotomize. Just lobotomy. Surgical brain treatment for mental disorders. Small holes made in the skull, and frontal lobe is severed with a long scalpel. There are cases where this technique has cured mental disorders enough to earn the mentioned Nobel Prize. However, the technique has also caused serious side effects, including loss of humanity. 1970, many countries banned the process. Yep. Humph. You're capable of such atrocities. You're going to say go ahead and try, but then I remember the right arm incident and I thought better of it.
あのな、ホテルに帰るんだからやることは一つ。寝るに決まっとろうが。
I'll here at hotel, do, and sleep. Because I'm Daru.
足だ。なんならあんたの脳も取り出してやろうか。
My bad.
まったく、どいつもこいつも変な想像するんじゃないの。いい？さっきも言ったけど、この状況は変えられないんだから、どうせ寝るなら快適な環境で寝たいってだけ。
In other words, she just gave up. I thought as much last night, but women really are brave in situations like this. But are you sure it's okay?
何が？
I mean, if I come with you.
あんた言ったじゃない。変なことはしないって。それともあれは嘘だったの？
Of course it wasn't. I swear to Newton.
昨日はアインシュタインだったような気がするけど。まあ細かいことはともかく、あんたがそう言うなら私はあんたのことを信じるわ。
She looked straight in my eyes as she told me that. She trusts me. There's no way I could think of doing something weird after hearing that. Especially with the look in her eyes.
いいなあ、
Those dead purple eyes.
マルシーもクリスちゃんの泊まってる部屋に行ってみたいのです。
そういえばそんな話もしてたわよね。それじゃあ今度この12号機が無事に外れたら私の部屋でお泊まり会しよう。
やったー！お泊まり会なんて前にルカ君のところでやって以来だから楽しみだよ。
What? Mayuri, you stayed at Lukako's?
泊まったよ。
Hold on, how have I not heard of this?
あれ、話してなかったっけ？ああ、そっか。その頃ちょうどオカリンなんだか忙しそうにしてたから行ってなかったかも。
Just make sure Lukako's still a guy, right? He had miraculously changed sexes somehow?
そうだよ。
I guess not. Did you tell your parents about this?
ルカ君のところならいいよって。
Luka-kuns. And your parents have met him before?
前に一回家に来たことあってね。礼儀正しくていい子だねって言ってたよ。
That's probably because they thought he was a girl.
ルカ君のお父さんも娘が2人できたみたいで賑やかでいいねって喜んでたのです。
He would say that. But could that mean? No way. Just thinking about this is giving me a headache.
あれ？どうしたのオカリン？
Yeah. It's Lukako. She just slept over at Lukako. It should be fine, right? I have mixed feelings about all this.
男の独占欲、かっこ悪い。
It's not like that.
それよりオカリンもクリスちゃんも昨日からずっと起きてるんだよね。ホテルに帰るなら早く帰ってゆっくり休んだ方がいいとマユシーは思うな。
そうね。このままここでダラダラ喋っていても仕方ないし。
Are you sure?
だから信用してるんだってば。
I see. She's okay with it, I should be too. Let's go. Onward to your lair.
マクツって何よ。
With that, I'm headed to the hotel in Ochanomizu, where Kurisu is living during her stay in Japan. Oh wait, Okurin! Okurin! Daru stopped me on my way out the door. Yes, Daru? Something I swore I would tell you in an event like this. And that is... Daru's expression grows serious. He asks, "You sure that's enough armor?" "I'll take the best you have."
お前らな。
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Sorry. Star bomb. Neither one of us said a word as we made our way to the station. From Akihabara to Ochanomizu. Normally we could have walked, but we were too exhausted to even consider it. Just about sunset when we arrived. Fortunately, Ochanomizu is only one stop away. It'll take 3 minutes at most. Once we arrive, Kurisu's hotel is an additional 5-minute walk from the station. As she approaches the front desk, the attendant hands her the key without even asking for a room number. I wonder if Kurisu noticed the curious look the attendant gave her when they noticed her by my side. After that, we took the elevator to the sixth floor. Oh yeah, sixth floor. We stopped in front of one particular door in a hallway full of them.
目をつむって。
Excuse me?
いいから目をつむって。その後は私が中まで先導するから。そのままいいって言うまで絶対に目を開けるんじゃないぞ。分かったわね。
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I keep responding. I don't know what was going on, but I did as instructed. Damn it, it's hard to read this stuff.
それじゃ入るから。絶対に目を開けるなよ。絶対だぞ。
The more you tell me not to, the more tempted I get
Huh?
to keep them closed forever. Roger that. She opens the door and lets me into the room.
そこで待ってて。
After a few steps, she tells me to wait, so I stand still. I can hear her moving around in the room.
今度はこっち。
Did so for about 5 minutes. Then she took me by the arm and moved me somewhere else. For another 5 minutes. During which time I stood with my eyes shut, just as promised. Just as I was getting impatient, preparing to complain,
いいわよ。目を開けて。
I heard her voice at my side and slowly opened my eyes. To a room far beyond anything I'd imagined. Been staying here the whole time you've been in Japan?
最近はラボで明かすこともあったけど、基本はここね。
I mean, I'd entertained the thought when I saw this hotel's exterior. But I imagine she might have a tiny room for business trips or something. Perhaps that was wishful thinking. This girl, she said that she was staying at a regular hotel last time I asked, but to book a place like this, she really is celeb 17. Tell me, what sort of atrocities does one need to commit to afford to stay at a place like this?
人聞きの悪いことを言うな。そんなこと一切しとらんわ。それより何か飲む？
Do you have Dr. P?
あいにくだけどない。来る途中に買ってくればよかったわね。コーラでいい？
She just opened the fridge and took out a cola. Of course, I made sure to stay within 1 meter radius of her as she moved around the room. I looked at the bottle of soda she gave me. This has to be from the hotel's minibar. Must cost at least twice the price what it would at a convenience store. She can hand me something this expensive without batting an eye? Celeb Sev is something else.
安心して。毒なんか入ってないから。
I downed the bottle. Given that I'd been too afraid to drink anything since the bathroom incident, the beverage felt as though it raised me from the dead. Now that I've got my eyes open, what were you puttering around the room earlier?
それはほら、一応あんたでも男の人なわけだし、迎え入れるにあたって片付けなきゃならないものとかいろいろあるの。
Tidy up?
だからホテル暮らしもしばらく続くと散らかったりとか。
Lots of things?
そうよ、いろいろよ。
Don't worry about me. I wouldn't be offended if I saw your teddy bear panties hanging up to dry.
分かってんなら言うな。つうかクマタンパンツなんて何年か前に卒業したわよ。
Her blush is adorable too. I see. So you were wearing them until a few years ago. Teddy bear panties.
つい勢いで。岡部、今の話は。
What's up, teddy bear? Ow. Does the thing kind of cute, right? Good branding, at least a teddy bear.
あんた、それ以上クマパン言ったら二度とこの部屋から出られなくしてやるからな。
Seriously? I was just trying to lighten the mood a little.
ねえ、岡部。
Kurusu's face grew stern as she looked up at me. What is it, assistant?
さすがに疲れたし、そろそろ寝ようかと思うんだけど。
Alright, then I'm going to do the same.
もう一度言っておく。私、あんたを信用してるから。
I know. Rest easy. She trusts me. She trusts me. There we go. Sorry. That's what she just said. That's why she brought me here. That I must repay that trust in kind.
それじゃあ、そのまま動かないで。何？
Hold on. Just what are you holding in your hands?
何って目隠しとロープだけど何？もしかしてあんた見たことないの？
I know what they are. I want to know what you plan to do with them.
決まってるじゃない。今から私が寝て起きるまで変なことができないようにこれでじっとしててもらうのよ。
While you're asleep, just how long are you going to keep me tied up like that?
悪いけど我慢しろ。私の安眠のためだ。
What about my sleep?
あんたはちょっとくらい疲れてる方がおとなしくていいのよ。
Damn her. You have to be kidding. Were you just lying when you said you trusted me?
信頼はしてるわよ。でもそれとこれとは別。念には念を入れなきゃね。
She's smiling, but her eyes are filled with grim determination. Looks like she's not kidding after all. By the way, Christina, why would you even have a rope and eye mask at the ready in your closet, ready close to your bed? Damn. Could it be that's what turns you on? Still, I'm afraid you're not going to rope a normal, sexually speaking guy like me in twisted fantasies.
なわけあるか。アイマスクは飛行機内で使うため、ロープはちょっとした洗濯物を干すため、旅行の必須アイテムだろうが。それよりも諦めておとなしく縛られろ。痛くしないから。
It said Shibari. Crap. I think I can take the humiliation of being tied up and blindfolded. I wanted to run to the other side of the room, but this massive room, but since we can't be more than a meter apart, all I can do is glare at her and back away. Eventually we hit a wall, and that'd be the end of that. I'm warning you now. I won't stay quiet if you try to tie me up with those. I'll resist and try to shock you while you're showering or sleeping, Teddyware. Though naturally, they'll shock me too. Sacrifices must be made. If I die, I'm taking her with me.
卑怯な。あとクマパン言うな。
You're the bastard. Okay, let's try this. I can deal with the eye mask, but not being tied up with a rope. Or else I won't be able to sleep at all. If something does happen, you can tie me up.
誰がうまいこと言えと。
Despite Curse's knee-jerk channel response, she gave the idea some thought. And?
わかったわ。じゃあロープはなしってことにする。
You mean it?
ええ。その代わり、アイマスクだけは着用してもらうけど、いいわね。
Well, I think I can handle that. At least pretend I'm just wearing the eye mask as a sleep aid.
じゃあ、これを装着して。
Kurusu handed me the mask. It's a bit annoying, but a promise is a promise. Put the eye mask on with my own two hands.
じゃあ、そのままじっとしてて。よいしょっと。
Hey.
何か？
Oh, what, me? Why are you tying me up? You're breaking your promise.
ちょっと動くな。アイマスクがずれちゃったじゃない。
Only because you tied me up.
さっきのは寝る時の話でしょ。今から私はシャワーを浴びるのよ。悪いけど、せめてその間だけはその格好でいてもらう。
Ugh. Thought of lodging a few more complaints, but then I realized that would just be a waste of time. Besides, I was tied up when whether I disagreed with it or not. Alright, go take your damn shower. Take your damn shower.
ああ、そうそう。あと、これもお願いね。
Put what on?
ヘッドホンよ。
Headphones? Headphones? Why do I have to wear those?
それは、あんたが私のシャワーの音を聞いて変な想像をしないため。
God damn, girl. I'm sorry, but she takes so many precautions. What is she trying to hide? Now I get it.
何よ。
Almost all hotels have a shower and a toilet with a bathroom, so you're going to...
あんたってば、ほんと最低。ほんとデリカシーないし、ほんと殺す。
I was just kidding. I didn't think you were really going to...
それ以上言ったらマジ殺すからな。
I'm sorry. She's literally got me blinded and bound. This really could be dangerous. So there I was, tied up, senses deprived by the eye mask and headphones, waiting for Kurisi to finish taking her shower. Must have fallen asleep. What could have happened afterwards? Oh, that's right. Kurisi got out of the bathroom and complained about all sorts of things I'd somehow done wrong. And I guess we both crashed after that. The lights are still on. She insisted that I wear the eye mask, but I must have forgotten. I checked the clock. It's past 10 p.m. It was around 6 p.m. when we were arguing, so it's only a few hours that I slept. I heard Kurisi's sigh from just over my head. Of course, she's asleep in her bed and I'm on the floor. But even the floor in this room is luxurious. It was actually more comfortable than sleeping on the couch in the lab.
Papa.
Her voice was barely audible, but I heard it.
ごめんなさい。
Oh.
パパ。だから。
Oh yeah, that's right, her dad stuff. Sorry. I wonder what kind of dream she's having. She said so. What's she going to say after that? Why is this genius girl trying to be a scientist? Why did she travel overseas? And why is she crying? Long ellipses. I stopped thinking about it. It's none of my business, and as far as I'm concerned, I never heard a thing. Put the eye mask on and went back to sleep. The next morning, well, perhaps I should say afternoon, since it was already past 12 by the time we got up in the hotel, left the hotel and headed toward the lab. From Chanamizu, we crossed the Hijiribashi Bridge and passed the Yushima Seido Temple and Kanda Myojin Shrine on our way to Akihabara. It's only about a 20-minute walk. But as we made our way through the back streets of Akihabara, we had an unexpected meeting.
Ah, Okabe-san.
Oh, it's Luka. Lukako. And...
Kiryu-san?
Ohayo.
oh, she's a bad guy in the Prime timeline. Well, kind of bad. Lukako and Finger. It really was unexpected. Out of the ordinary, in fact. What are you two doing here? The question on my mind simply slipped out of me. Monica slowly pointed at a small, nondescript building. Long ellipses. Waited for her to keep going, but she remained silent. Outside of her messages, she really is a woman of few words. Tried to get a little more info out of her. Okay, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? The name? Arc rewrite?
アークリライトってもしかして桐生さんがバイトしてるっていうヘンプロじゃない？
そう。
Do you remember hearing that she worked there? Ironic, given how bad she is communicating with people. Thought she might have been fired by now, but I guess it's not the case. This must be the most tolerant company in the world. If I'm ever in the need of a job, this is the first door I'll knock on. So that would mean I'd have to kowtow to Moeka because she would be a senior employee. I can't imagine I'd like that very much. Anyway, it's not important right now. Aha, but you work here, Moeka? Why is Lukako with you?
撮影お願いしてたの。
撮影？
独占秋葉原に舞い降りた本物の巫女。そう、グラビア飾れって編集長の。
Clever. I know there are cosplayers who dress up in shrine maiden costumes, but Lukako might be a real shrine maiden in Akiba. Well, aside from the maiden part. But Lukako's a guy. Isn't that technically a false advertising?
写真じゃわからないから平気。
It seems very unconsidered somehow. And I'm going to stop for now and take a quick break, or take a break for a while, because I'm tired, my eyes hurt. Oh no! Here we go. Thanks for watching.